Welcome back, guys. Good to have you here again. Thanks again, man, for checking out the video. Our last video, questions and answers series number 1, went down an absolute treat with you guys. You sent me loads of questions since then, so we've got loads to get through today. Anyway, guys, wonderful to have you here again with me. As always, man, if you like the video in advance, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're popping out weekly videos to do with birds, keeping birds, anything to do with our feathered friends. Let's jump into it, guys. Our questions and answers series, video number 2. Okay, to kick things off, man, we have Joel Riley who asks, are lovebirds super loud? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Great video. Notice how we said the great video. Joel, legend, my friend. Legend. This is clearly a great video anyway, man, but cheers, man. Cheers. So are they really loud? Lovebirds tend to have like a really high-pitched, shrill, if you like, chirp. It is really loud. You can get used to it, guys. It's not sort of offensively loud, but obviously if you keep them outside, 1's fine, 2's fine, 3's getting loud, 4+ is arguing at each other all day. It really starts to kick off. So if you've got neighbours close by, probably best that you don't keep them outside. Or if you keep them in the house, problem we've had, keep them in the house. If you keep them in a like sort of a room with not a lot of furniture or curtains or that sort of thing, anything to dampen the noise down, you just get that chirp and it just echoes around the whole room and you're like, oh my god, these are really loud birds. Really loud birds. So are they loud? Yes, they are pretty loud. If you want something quieter, I go for something like sort of hookbill, that same sort of thing. Maybe a parakeet, a budgie. If noise is going to be a problem, budgies are fine. They only like chirp, chirp, chirp a bit. But it's not that shrill noise that lovebirds make. So Joel, cool question, man. Are they loud? Meh. In the middle, man. Yes, they can be. Most of the time, my friend, it's just how they communicate. So if you can get used to it, and your neighbours can get used to it, keep them by all means, and keep them outside if you can, guys. Because everyone, that free flight is the best. Okay. Joel, fantastic question, my friend. Hope it's answered it somewhat, mate. Cheers, buddy. Next question is from Akshida. I have to read this down here, guys, because I've got a memory like a sieve. So anything longer than 3 words, I'm not remembering it, okay? I'm not. Akshida Pramodv. Hope I'm saying that okay. Asks, my lovebirds bit the shopkeeper when he transferred them from cage to cage. He mentioned that this is a biting type of lovebird. Is there any way to prevent biting? Should I bath my lovebirds? We've answered the bathing thing in our last video. If you want to go check that out, the link's down below in the description. That'd be cool. Or just go ahead and view it on the last playlist. That'd be cool. Is there any way to stop them biting? This, obviously, the lovebird you're in question, it's not a tame one. If it was tame, there's no way to bite. Guys, lovebirds tend to, top tip here, guys, they tend to bite harder if they're a hen. If they're female, they'll bite you harder. So if you wear a really thick glove and you think, is it a hen, is it a cock bird? Put your finger in with a thick glove. And if it's not a tame bird. But if he's transferring them, there are special ways to transfer them and hold them, especially if you haven't got gloves, guys. So be careful when doing this because that will give you such a big pinch. But you don't get biting type lovebirds. They're just being bitten, they're just like pecking you because they don't like being grabbed. That's it. They don't like being grabbed. So maybe just like don't grab them. If you want to transfer them, man, get a little net or something and net them up. It keeps them dark, that sort of thing. Put them, they like being in dark places. If you're transferring them, keep them quite dark. The correct way to hold one, I haven't got a lovebird to hand, but the correct way to hold one, if you're trying to transfer one, is if you cradle your hand around the back of their neck. So you're using your forefinger there and your thumb, and that'll just gently, guys, around the back of the neck, just gently squeeze them and use these fingers here to cradle the rest of their body. So you'll put your fingers around the neck and then cradle the body, and then you can turn them over. They can't bite you, they can't peck you, they're not stressed. That's the best way to hold them, guys. So if you are trying to move your lovebirds about, that's the best way to hold them, around the back of the neck, like that, with these 2 fingers. So your thumb and your forefinger, gently, and then use these other 3 fingers to cradle the bird. That way they're really safe, they can't move. But are there particular types of birds that bite more than others? No. All lovebirds will peck you if they don't want you to be on them. So, Akshita, hope that's answered your question. There's no such thing. And they're also asking further down, am I Australian? No. Clearly English. Alright, mate. Cheers for the question, buddy. Next question. Drumroll. CANDACE Middleton. I'm saying that alright. Thank you very much for your question. Says, I love the video, but I couldn't not understand what the square block was called because you speak Australian. Thank you very much, CANDACE Middleton. I will say it slow, okay? Okay. We're not Australian. My friends, ace of you to stop all the videos. I'm English. I'm about as English as I get, my friends. Anyway, the square block that you refer to, CANDACE, is an iodine block. It's a little, thank you. It's a little pink block that's absolutely crucial for the development of eggshells in chicks. It's just imperative that they have it. It's great for the digestive system. Great for that sort of stuff. They must have it, guys. If you don't put one in there, I'll pop a little picture over about now. If you don't have it in there, guys, they must have one, okay? A little square blocking by big ones or small ones of it as well. Just hangs on the side of the cage. The birds will go up, they'll peck it. It's great for the beaks. It's just brilliant. But they must have it, guys. If you plan on breeding your lovebirds, if you plan on getting any sort of eggs from your birds, they must have access to iodine blocks. It forms the shell on the egg, or goes to forming the shell on the egg. So if they're lacking it, when the shell comes out, they can either not pass it, or when they're passing it, it breaks. Or when they've laid the egg, maybe they'll go ahead, sit on it, something like that, and it'll just crack because it's that weak. You can almost see through it. When you candle them, you can see through. It's such a thin eggshell. So guys, it is an iodine block I was on about. It's my Australian, obviously. CANDACE, thank you very much for your question, man. Thank you. I have a cool question from Melinda, who asks, how do you keep them from fighting? I brought a young pair and all they do is fight all that. You've probably brought 2 cockbirds. Probably. If they're meant to be like a bonded pair or anything like that, then a bonded pair wouldn't argue. Or perhaps you're getting the male who's bullying the female because he can't breed. He will get restless. So if you don't want them to breed, you're just going to have to maybe get like a bigger cage for them, or a bigger area where they can not escape, but they've got more room. They don't get less stressed. If they're in a smaller area, they'll be confined and very angry. If you want them to breed, go ahead and pop a nest box in there. I almost guarantee that will solve it. If they're a bonded pair or anything like that, I guarantee that will solve it. It's a nesting issue. He's just getting frisky, and there's nowhere for him to do his business and start a little family off. There's nowhere. But if you brought them and you don't think they're a bonded pair, I only say that because I read part down. It does say that you brought them as a bonded pair. You probably brought 2 males, which is okay. But remember with males, guys, remember, males are dominant, okay? So what they'll try and do is they'll try and bully everyone else in there. So you've got 2 males. Best advice, make everything level. Make the perches level. Make all the nest boxes, if you've got nest boxes in there, level. Make all the water feeders, the drinkers, the food, make everything level. You can do them at different stages in the cage. You don't have to have like everything like that. But they will always try and get the high ground over the other one. It's just the way they are. If you've got a nest box with a little bit of room on top, I guarantee they'll be sitting on top because it's the highest point in the cage. Not only to feel safe for your bird, but they're at a vantage point to their foes. In your case, it might be that other bird, unfortunately. So yeah, best advice, try and give them more room. If they're bonded pair, put a nest box in there. If you don't want chicks, try and give them more room again. But if you have brought 2 males, that's fine. 2 males can live quite happily. They just need a bit of room. Make everything level, so perches on the same level, that sort of thing. Remember with perches, guys, someone mentioned this in a past comment on a previous video, that you shouldn't just keep using dowel. You know, like the bog standard pieces of dowel that you get, the same size. You should try and mix it up. Like the shapes of the perches that your birds are sitting on. Different types of shapes, better for their feet. Over a long period of time, just grabbing exactly the same size, they will get arthritis in the claws and the feet, so that's not good. Also, if you want something to give lovebirds, in particular lovebirds, I know this is an aviary and a generalisation, a bird type channel, but lovebirds in particular, willow. If you want to give them something they love, willow sticks. They absolutely love willow sticks. They'll just wreck them. Fresh is better. So if you've got a willow tree, just go and, if you own the willow tree, nip a little branch off, snap it into bits, pop it up there. They will just love devouring that, guys. It's really good for their beaks. Gives them something to do. Mentally stimulating, all that good stuff. So yeah, a few questions run through today. I hope I've answered the few questions that I have well. I'll try and do my best, you know. Guys, send them in. If you've got anything I can help you with, I'll try and do my very best. We're only doing this series because we have so many people who send us questions, and I feel like it's best for everyone to hear an answer, and then you can just skip through the next bit if you don't want to hear about a particular topic. That's fine, man. As always, my friends, keep them coming in. Love your questions, and I'm more than happy to sit here and answer them for you, man. More than happy. As always, my friends, please, please, please give us a thumbs up, like down below, subscribe, share, turn on notifications so you know when we're posting out videos. Until the next one, guys, take care.